Hey folks, first and foremost, I want to give you guys a quick tutorial just like how to navigate the class, okay? Every instructor sets their D2L shell up a little bit differently, and so I kind of wanted to walk you through this just so you understood what's going on. So when you come in, you'll always end up here, the main landing page. What we'll see here, number one, announcements. I typically will put an announcement up each week, just kind of saying, hey, this is what we're going to do this week. So you'll just see that there. Other than that, okay, if you want to meet with me, just click this link. It'll give you the opportunity to set up a virtual meeting. It'll be Google Meet based. You can just pick any time that works for you. Then there's Ask a Librarian widget, a plagiarism guide, and a citation guide. Lots of faculty will have a calendar down here with like your items to do. I actually specifically turn that off in our class. And I turn it off because I want you to focus on content. So you'll see there's lots of things that run across the top. Content, assignments, discussions, quizzes, blah, blah, blah. You should really only need to use two things here. Number one, content, and number two, grades. Everything else will be linked within the content, okay? So if you come over to content, you'll see general course info, weekly content, student resources, and then this Feel Like You're Drowning tab. So general course info, we'll have my contact info, course syllabus and policies, the course schedule, technology requirements, what to do with problems, tech issues, etc. Okay. And then weekly content, you'll see we're broken up into 4 different units. Each unit represents one paper. So unit 1 is going to take up 3 weeks. You'll see the dates are typically on here. I try to make it as clear as possible. So instead of trying to use a calendar function to determine what you need to do, what you should do is come to any given week. And what you'll see in each week is a to-do list. Sometimes you'll have 2 due dates. Most weeks will have a Thursday and a Monday due date. Everything's always due at 11 a.m. That's a nice time for me because I'm around in the event that there's some sort of catastrophe. I'm typically near my computer, okay? There's a quick to-do list, and then everything on that to-do list will end up linked down here, okay? So what I would encourage you to do is to work your way through this to-do list by coming through all of the items here. Now, I want to show you one quick thing that can kind of help you track where you are. Okay, so if we come back here and take a look at this to-do list, okay, so watch the welcome video, watch how to navigate the course, that's what you're doing right now, of course, watch week 1, okay, so we've got the week 1 video, these other 2 are going to be over in weekly content, or excuse me, in the general course info. One thing you'll note here is every time you go to something, you start with as a task here, this is a little black dot, okay? Once you go there, and no, it does not really matter how long you spend here. I can tell how long you spent there if I need to. When you come back, what you'll see is that there's now been replaced by a check mark. So what you want to do is make sure that everything at the end of the week is you got a check mark by it. That doesn't necessarily track if you've submitted something, but it does track if you've gone there. So at least you have gone there and viewed what you need to. The other thing is I often will put stuff in folders. So class introduction is a folder in and of itself. You will see these folders can be opened and closed with these handy dandy little triangles, okay? So if you come to something and you don't see anything, look for one of those triangles. Chances are pretty good that it is simply that you haven't opened something up, okay? So you'll see a link to the discussion is here, a link to syllabus quiz is here, a link to set up an appointment with me is here. All of these are things that are on your list, okay? So you'll see those 3 things right there. That's all the course information stuff. These 2 videos are back in general course info, okay? So that is just sort of like a basic tutorial of how this goes. Every week works the same way. Again, by Monday, by Thursday, you'll see 2 due dates here. Again, I try to lay everything out, links to everything you need right here in the content section, okay? Link to the research discussion, a link to the articles you need to read, okay? All of that you will see right here. Okay, so that is sort of the basic way this works. One thing I want to point out is this weekly video. I do one of these every single week, and it will explain all the assignments. I will go in and explain how everything in there works. Okay, so if it's like a week we get a new essay assignment, for example, it's going to be that weekly video that actually explains that essay assignment. It's not just the written thing I give you. I try to give you a nice explanation of it too. Please watch those videos. I can't do anything more to help explain than these videos. It's really a way to sort of help understand. Like I said, the only other thing you should need to pay attention to is grades. You'll come in here. Okay, it will list, and I am a big fan of using the Pulse app. If you haven't downloaded it, it's available for Android and iOS. It will give you notifications for anything I stick a due date on. There are some things I simply can't stick due dates on, so it's not a fail-safe that makes sure that you have done absolutely everything, but it does give you that opportunity to get sort of a last-minute reminder. You'll see all your grades noted here. Okay, and you'll be able to track your grade throughout the course of the semester. All the homework things, we'll use virtually all of these. There may be one or two things that I end up not using over the course of the semester. Quick note, if there's a 0 there, it means you didn't do it. If there's a 1 there, it means I need you to redo it, and you'll see the feedback on that as well. And then if there's nothing there, it means I haven't graded it, and that is not impacting your grade in any way. Okay? All right, so as I said, course home is where you land, content is where everything should be linked, and then grades, that should be the only thing you need. Yes, there are links here to go to assignments, and that will be a list of all the assignments that are due over the entire semester. However, anytime I ask you to do assignment, it's going to be linked in the weekly content. Anytime I ask you to do a discussion, it'll be linked in the weekly content. So you shouldn't need to use any of those links in order to access anything. Okay, come in, look over the material on Thursday. Okay, the other thing, class runs Thursday to Thursday. Why? I don't know. It just made sense to me to do it that way. It also gives me sort of a half week to get your introduction in at the beginning, and then we can start working on full week's worth of content. Okay, so things run Thursday to Thursday. So every Thursday you should come in, you should read, you should understand what you need to do over the course of the week. If something is going to be due much later, I typically will try to identify this. So the Essay 1 assignment, I want you to have read it and understand it for week 2, but it's not due till February 6th. So we've got a little bit of breathing room. I try to identify that in your to-do list. Okay. Always, if there are any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. I am glad to help you out. Last thing here, you can always swap courses up here. Message alerts, subscription alerts, and update alerts. Updates and subscriptions, if you are working in a discussion board, you can subscribe to the discussion board so you get like a notification up here whenever a new post is there. Ditto with update alerts, new grades getting posted, new content being added generally shows up there. The message alerts don't really function. We've got that functionality turned off. It will allow you to send me an email, but just recognize that goes to my email account, and when I respond, it's going to go back to your email account, not anywhere in D2L. Okay? I think that's a good quick overview. If you run into any issues, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am glad to help you.